Maximizing your boat's solar energy isn't just about generation, it's about smarter monitoring and control. While the Victron Bluetooth app provides basic monitoring of your solar power generation, what if you could take it a step further? How can you gain deeper insights and extra control to truly optimize your energy usage? In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect your Victron Smart MPPT regulator to Home Assistant using an ESP32 with Bluetooth integration. This setup goes beyond the standard app, giving you extra smart features and full visibility of your solar power system right from your smart boat dashboard. You'll be able to monitor the power coming in from your solar panels in real time, track historical data, automate the use of excess solar energy, and even get alerts if anything looks off. By integrating a solar regulator into the smart boat system, you can maximize the efficiency of your solar setup through advanced automation. For instance, when excess solar power is available and the regulator enters float mode, you can automatically activate, say, a watermaker or other devices. This ensures that valuable energy isn't wasted when the batteries are fully charged, offering an extra layer of optimization that the standard app doesn't provide. Conversely, on cloudy days when solar output is lower, you can use automation to have, say, your fridge cycle less, or turn off other devices. Additionally, you could remotely monitor your system while you're away by adding extra peace of mind by tracking and controlling everything in one place. This integration not only helps you make the most of your solar energy, but it also enhances the overall energy management on your boat. We're going to use the ESP32 as the bridge between your Victron regulator and our smart boat system. If you're not familiar with ESP32, don't worry. I've covered how to set one up in a previous video, so you can check that out for a step-by-step guide. The ESP32 has built-in Bluetooth capabilities, which makes it the perfect solution for connecting to the MPPT regulator without the need for any additional hardware or cables. And if you haven't yet set up your boat as a smart boat, I've also created a tutorial playlist that will guide you through the entire process. If you have an older Victron MPPT without Bluetooth, I'll also be making a future video to show how to integrate it via cables and get the same benefits. Once we've got the ESP32 up and running, I'll walk you through this simple configuration to get the data flowing. You'll be able to see all the important metrics from your solar panel right on your dashboard. Solar panel voltage, current, power output, and battery charging status. And you will also see how easy it is to set up an automation to make use of excess solar power. So let's get started. Here we are in Home Assistant in the ESP Home add-on dashboard. Now for this project, all you need is an ESP32. You don't actually have to connect anything to it apart from the power cable. So if this is your first project, so just power it up with the USB, or if you want to power it with 5 volts, but the USB is simpler. If you have existing ESP32, you can reuse one of these and just add the Bluetooth component and the code I'm going to provide to an existing ESP32. Just make sure it's mounted reasonably close to your Victron MPPT regulator, so the Bluetooth has good communications. I've set up an example one here, ESP32 Solar. Now the first part of the YAML is just the base ESP32, which I've actually added to my website under the code. You can go have a look for ESP32 base. It has the basic configuration to set up an ESP32 without Bluetooth. Now on my website, I already have some code for this Victron Bluetooth integration. So you'll find it here, the Victron PPT YAML. You can just copy this or download it and add it to the YAML. So what it does, it starts from here. So this line here is the ESP32 BLL tracker. This actually will install the Bluetooth component onto your ESP32. I normally advise, if you're not using Bluetooth, not to have this, because this actually doubles the size of the file that needs to be uploaded. So it's much more efficient without it, but we're going to use Bluetooth here, so we need it. Now this code, for this to work, we're actually using the beauty of open source. It's some code that's written by Fabian Schmidt. He's done the integration, and on his GitHub page, you can actually see some more information. We've got some more doco, how to set it all up, etc, etc, etc. So basically I've used the instructions from here and cut it down what we need. So acknowledgements to Fabian. It's great how this open source community works. This first paragraph here is the identification details for your Victron regulator. So you need to find its MAC address and the bind key. So we'll just go do that now. So on my phone, on the Victron Connect app, so we need to go to the settings wheel at the top, and then the three dots, click product info, and then we just scroll down until we get encryption data, click on show, and then we just need to copy the MAC address and encryption key from here. Okay, so we just copy and paste the MAC address and the encryption key and put it into here and here. And then the rest are just sensors, which I've copied from Fabian's GitHub page. So the voltage, the current, the yield, the power. I've also created an integration platform, which is the solar energy produced, because when you're putting these energy integrations into Home Assistant has particular requirements for energy sensors. So they have to have a device class of energy, the state class of total increasing. So I've added an integration platform which will just sum up the watts, how Home Assistant likes it. Then we have a section for binary sensors. In the bottom here, I've added the MPPT in float. So it's a binary sensor. So when the regulator is in float mode, this will say on. So we can use this in our automation. And then we have a text sensor which just has the state, and if there's an error, the state is something like bulk or float, etc. So we can save that. Let's just validate. Okay, and then we'll just do an OTA over the air install. I'll speed this up. Okay, so successfully uploaded our configuration to the ESP32. So now let's go to have a look at the ESP Home integration. And let's have a look at the solar one. It's here, it's created, it's one device with 12 entities. And here we go, we have the current, the battery voltage, MPPT, the state's actually in bulk, and the binary sensor is in float, it says it's off. So if we add it to a dashboard, I've already created a dashboard called solar, which is empty. So we just add all these to the dashboard, add them all. And let's go to solar, and here we have them. So now let's go create an automation. So let's create an automation that when the batteries are full and the MPPT is in float, let's turn on something. Go to automation, create an automation, new automation. So let's have a trigger. So it's when an entity, in this case it's the state because it's a binary sensor. Let's find this float, solar, and when it goes to on, so when it goes on, then let's add an action, turn the switch, switch on an entity. I have my virtual switches in the relay board, and my watermaker is relay 5, so let's just turn that on. Let's add an action to, there's a number of ways we can do this. We can just turn it on and then manually turn it off. We'll put a bit of a time there. Say let's wait for 30 minutes and then add another action to switch it off. Relay 5 is a watermaker. Okay, let's save it. Let's call it MPPT float on watermaker and save. So basically when the MPPT, the binary sensor, the float turns on, then we're going to switch on the relay 5, which is my watermaker, wait for half an hour and switch it off. I mean, this wait for half an hour and switch it off, you can do different things. Here's just an example for this video. But it just shows how powerful this is. A solar regulator on float and the battery's full and energy going nowhere. We can actually use this energy exactly when the regulator goes to float. So we go back to our dashboard. Now this is a nice little basic dashboard. Home Assistant has a built-in energy dashboard, which where you can define the grid and the solar and your batteries, etc. The help card, they call it energy card. This is the help for it, energy card. So you can, it looks a bit like this. You have to define where your solar comes from, where your grid is. If you have grid, you can do water. It generates a nice graph like this. So for example, the solar one, if you want to just use the solar, and you actually set this up, you can actually use this solar card. So if we will go back to our dashboard, we can just add a card, and we go down to manual, and we just add this solar energy card and save it. And there we have the graph. Like I'm cheating a little bit here because I've already configured the energy dashboard. You need to configure the energy dashboard first, but it doesn't make sense because we haven't actually done the grid or batteries. I'll just show you that the energy, what it looks like. The energy dashboard is like this. So you have the energy usage, a little pretty energy distribution, your solar production, etc. And when you first create or go to this energy dashboard, it has a configuration, but you can also go to it from here. And so you set up electricity grid. We don't actually have one, but I've set up empty template sensors to show that there's nothing come from the grid. And you put your solar panels and your battery configuration in there. We're going to have water in there one day as well, but I'll go through this on another video, which is coming soon. Thank you for joining me today in exploring the incredible world of smart boating. If you found this video helpful and informative, I would appreciate if you hit the like button below. And if you'd like to stay updated with more exciting content on boating and technology, consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Your support means a lot and helps me create more valuable videos like this. Until next time, hasta luego.